Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? We are on our last week before Christmas. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. I don't know where December went. It just flew. It's actually a little depressing in the spirit of Christmas. Where is your faith at? Where do you get your faith and your hope for the season? If we didn't have hope, I think, that's where, mental illness and depression and suicide come from. There's no hope. It's that evil belief that we are not worthy, we are not loved, and we are not wanted. And that is all false. Even if you feel that way in your family, it is all false. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't want to get blasted by if you don't believe, you don't believe. But Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you in your sin, in your faults, in your day-to-day life, in your general, regular, you are the normal person. He loves you. So, I know, I don't normally talk religion, but I do actually, once in a while talk about, my priest. He makes up for in his beliefs and in what he says. My priest is a spitfire. He is, I like to say he's little, but he's loud. What he makes up for it in stature, he makes up for in humongous homilies. And he can make you sit through a homily to where it is totally dead silent in the church. There's not a baby even crying or nothing. Where you are squirming in your seat because something he has said resonated with you and you realized, that's me. I'm a sinner. That's me. And there's a lot of people that don't like him. They don't like him because he speaks the truth. He tells you exactly how it is. He lays it down for you and boom, there you go. Yeah, this is the truth. There is no lie. Lies are from the evil one. I am not worthy. I am not loved. I am not wanted. Those are lies from, get behind me, Satan. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot to what I am saying, and I just can't even get you to understand just because, if you're not there on your journey, you're not there. And I am here, and a year ago, I wouldn't have even thought I was here. So, there's my furnace. Yeah. So, don't bash me. Don't, it's, we all have our own beliefs, and I totally understand, right? I totally understand, and I totally respect people for their beliefs, because I expect them to respect me for my beliefs. But remember, this is my channel, and I can talk about what I want to. You can fast forward it if you don't want to hear it. But basically, I just wanted to tell you, I have a way to introduce you to my priest. He has put a YouTube channel together with some of his other members of the, I don't know if it's the parish, the diocese. It's not the parish. Our parish is little. The diocese, I don't know, okay? But I do know that there is a way for you all to listen to him. And if you are inspired just a tiny little bit, and you want to be like, hey, I want to see what she's listening to every Sunday and every daily mass that I actually attend my home parish. I'm a parish jumper. I am. I always tell them I belong to this parish, but technically I go to church here if it's at 8, here if it's at 6 p.m., here if it's at, my priest has gone a lot too because he's in the military. So, yeah, he's amazing. He really is. But I will post his link below to his YouTube channel. I will probably post it on the next few videos just to, get it out there. And it's amazing. It's just amazing to hear him speak. So if you're so inclined, use the link. It's not going to hurt you. It's just a YouTube channel. Maybe it'll give you some insight. Maybe it'll lead you down a new path. Right? Okay, so today we are not really doing the last of the batch sheets, I don't think. I haven't quite decided if we're actually going to just formulate and use the batch sheets on our formula, or if we're going to, we probably should do that. Yeah. Anyway, be kind, be forgiving, be you, and let's go check out this next video on the batch sheets. Okay, talking about these master batch sheets. This is, okay, so if I don't have a lot of these that are actually my master, what I call the master recipe, simply because I end up changing the formulation every once in a while. I'll change the preservative, or I might change the emulsifier, or I might change the amount. I might want to make 6 bath bombs instead of 2 or 3, or instead of 3 I want to make 2. So what you can do though when you have this master recipe is write your ingredients in here, and then what you do is you just make a copy of it, you know, for every time you make a batch, and just fill in the information, because it has a spot where, you know, are there overages or different ingredients that you've used. Okay, so we're formulating my new, hopefully new, it's going to be my new body cream. So like an all over. Why? I don't know. Because I want to. Because I like to. Okay? So, and I realized I usually put, so we'll say 12, say I made 14, 25. This is my date made. Best Buy, right here, is if I have a lot of them, and if you don't, like let's say you put it in a jar instead of into the containers, I will put this Best Buy date on that jar. I don't normally do that, but it was just something that had come up that I did once or twice. So my batch number, I actually lied to you. I do my batch numbers, I do the month, the date, the year, and then 01. I'm just wondering if I got sloppy. I thought I used to do 20, 25, but now I do 12, 14, 25, 01. Okay, so this batch size is going to be probably 4 ounces when I'm done with it, plus or minus. So I have 2 recipes. This one is from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's the calendula infused body cream, which was very fascinating. But then I saw the pear prosecco lotion from Brambleberry, and I kind of liked things on both of them. So natural to me, I'm going to do both. So this is actually going to be a calendula and oat body cream. And if you use this recipe, you know, you could be nice and be like, hey, I used her recipe, you know, give me credit, you know, maybe send them to my Facebook, or not my Facebook, you can send them to my Facebook, send them to my, you know, YouTube, because you probably have way more subscribers than I do. Okay, we're gonna work this out over here first. So they're using tea bags, but okay, so they're using, this makes quite a few jars, but so basically we need water plus an extra amount, and we are going to infuse my calendula and some oatmeal, like whole. Okay, now my calendula will not be on a batch sheet previously, but we are going to use also, and part of this is going to be some witch hazel that's been infused with roses. So you will see that part of it. This is what I call my flower infusion. Witch hazel is very drying and toning. It can be drying, but it's also a toner, and I just feel like as a body lotion, you know, I can use all the toning I can get. So it sounded good to me. And then, of course, we are going to add some glycerin to this because glycerin is a humectant and helps bring moisture to our skin on the skin level. And then I decided I was definitely going to use shea butter because I just like that. And then they have some oils here. So it's, you know, an oil and an oil. And then this MCT oil. I'm just going to use fractionated coconut oil because I think that's a really great thing. I am not using Soft and Silky UX because I don't use it because I don't feel it's... I think it's more over processed than other ones. Okay, does that make sense? And then we're doing vitamin E, of course, and some stearic. Stearic is a thickener. The emulsifier just emulsifies the water and the oil. The stearic is actually a little bit of a thickener. And I do want this as a thicker lotion because it's a body cream, right? So they used sunflower. We'll look at this one. Oh, and I never use vanilla stabilizer. If the fragrance oil tints it yellow, it tints it yellow. If it tints it tan, it tints it tan. If it tints it, you know, root beer would make it, you know, you know how excessive that one is. So I don't use a stabilizer. It's just an extra additive that I just feel I don't need in the lotion, okay? Every once in a while, I will add, which one of these? This one has mica in it. Every once in a while, I will add a little bit of mica just for fun. But no. And she does put a champagne extract. I like extracts in my lotion, so we will be adding, you know, all sorts of extracts. But so, sorry. So we're doing this formulation: shea oil, light oil preservative. Yep. Extracts and preservative. I will tell you, I am an Opti-Fen Plus lover. We could do GeoGuard. The only one I have is the Ultra. But the reason for that is that this one you really got to watch the pH if I use my aloe juice because of the citric acid in it. But since I'm not using any aloe juice, this would be a great EcoCert Cosmos, meaning worldwide, preservative for this lotion. Okay, so, we are going to need e-wax. I forgot this, and stearic. E-wax, we could use the Emulse, what is it called? Ecomulse, or the olive, but I think I'm going to use this for something else. So we could use the Ecomulse, or we could just use a regular e-wax NF, which for testing, I might just do this one. Cheaper. Okay, so glycerin, definitely. Shea, yes. I think I'm going to make shea my top. I'm going to make this my top oil. I'm not sure. I might lean towards my all-in-one men's lotion because it is a fabulous thing, blend, which takes castor and squalane. We'll put squalane in there. I think that's a really nice one, or jojoba. And then for a max oil, because these will be like a lower percent, you know, 1 to 2%, and then this one will be a little higher and a little higher. So it depends on where you want your percentages. I wrote the percentages down here just to see what they were. Like, they don't use stearic, but my stearic and e-wax will be around 9 to 10%, no more than that. And then as you can see, their water is about 73. I'm going to knock mine down to about 70%. I might actually drop that to 65, depending if it's, you know, not thick enough. for me. And then so you have 8, 16, 17, 18% is what they have left over here. Does that make 73 plus 8 plus 2, 8 plus 9 equals, okay, so this is her 100%. She doesn't include those. Okay, so so they're doing 18% oil. Wait, so 18% is going to be shea my oil, 1% extracts, 1 to 1.5% preservative. Okay. Okay, I gotta talk you through this now. So this is my, as you can see, it's the wild harvest sheet for my prairie roses. And that is the lot number right there. Okay, and that gets transferred to my rose witch hazel infusion sheet. See, dried rose petals, that's the lot number, and then the witch hazel itself has a lot number. And then so this date, or this batch number right there, that is what is going to be put on my master recipe. I actually shouldn't call this a master recipe because it's technically just going to be a test. But there is just so much to tell you about these sheets that I know I'm forgetting stuff. But anyway, that is my batch number for the infusion. And so I write the batch number and then I put infusions so that I know it's in that binder. So you could fill out this whole sheet. Let's pretend it is the master recipe. You would fill out the whole sheet with the lot numbers and all that information, and then you make a copy of it. Okay? But you don't want to put yeah, and you would make a copy of this without the master recipe on top. See? And I'm going to fold it over. Without the master recipe on top, and that way every time you made a batch of this, you would make a copy, you would add new dates, and you would make any changes, like white out lot numbers if you have a new one. And then I would create a new master recipe from that, especially when you change lot numbers and information like that. But if I made it 4 times in the year, my last time I would make it would be 12, 24, 25, and I would change the 01 to like 4 more times, so 05. Okay, so that 01 does change depending on how many times I make a product, and I'm going off the master sheet. But we will talk about this master sheet in the next video and how to complete it. There's so much information. But I wanted to show you one more thing. If you don't get a lot number for something, you definitely put the expiration date of the product so that when you pull it out, you know when it's expired. And as always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. And God bless.